run around and send naked.
Good afternoon. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this side event titled Combating Gender Stereotypes in Education, organized within the framework of Turkey's chairmanship of the Council of Europe. Each year, the Steering Committee on Equality between Men and Women of the Council of Europe organizes a side event on the margins of CSW, and we are very happy to host this year's. Today, we have the distinct honor to have among us the President of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe, His Excellency Mr. Mevlut Cavusoglu, as a keynote speaker. We have also speakers from Turkey, Portugal, to represent the rich diversity of the Council of Europe. And namely, Ms. Leyla Coşkun from Turkey, and LGBT Equality Minister of Education, Culture and Science in Netherlands. Dear guests, stereotyped and distorted perception of the roles of women and men in society. Unfortunately, as all habits would have been gesture. After this introduction, now I have the honor to give the floor to His Excellency Mr. Cavusoglu, the President of the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe. The floor is yours, sir.
Of Europe event organized within the framework of Turkish chairmanship of the Committee of Ministers of the Council of Europe. As you know, for more than 60 years, the Council of Europe has been in the front line in the fight for human rights, including equality between women and men. Through this long experience, we have understood that school has a vital role to play in promoting gender equality. In Europe, most children begin to spend time outside of the family at a very early stage. Some are entrusted to childcare facilities from the age of even 2 months. Normally, schooling begins at around 3 years of age. Many children also attend after-school childcare centers. The Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe has addressed this issue on a number of occasions, and more recently in Resolution 1669 on the rights of today's girls, the rights of tomorrow's women. This resolution was prepared on the basis of a comprehensive and thorough research into the practice and experience of one of our member states, Sweden. Contrary to the expectation or stereotypes, it was interesting to find out that even in such an egalitarian and gender-sensitive society, school discriminates between boys and girls. Teachers' attitudes are a key element in this process. Research on schools in Sweden show that teachers treat girls and boys very differently from the day they start school until the day they leave, of this stereotyping and discrimination. The cumulative effect of this differential treatment leads them to choose vocational courses that prepare them for poorly paid jobs and with the little career structure and a focus on women's work only. Teachers of vocational subjects have been found to be the most conservative regarding the gender of all teacher groups, which make vocational classes particularly important arenas for reinforcing gender stereotypes. As a result, vocational education remains strongly gender segregated even in the most advanced European countries like Sweden, as I gave the example. And we in the Parliamentary Assembly believe that schools must help to implement the principle of gender equality. And let me mention just a few of our recommendations. I also mentioned some of them again during the session on Wednesday. In order to guarantee access to education for all children, including girls who are more frequently outside of the school system than boys, states should take over the cost of the related to their schooling. And there should be a gender balance among the school staff involved in teaching, administrative and managerial activities. Behaviors shouldn't be sexist at all. Teachers should be made aware of the particular difficulties which can be experienced by young immigrant girls or girls from disadvantaged backgrounds. And teaching materials and methods should be revised in such way as to promote non-discriminatory language and non-sexist education, including in non-state schools. These recommendations set the general framework. Of course, situations in different European countries have. Education is an essential instrument to ensure equal opportunities between girls and boys. It is a necessary tool for reducing poverty and social inequalities and respecting human rights. Education has a major impact on the ability of girls and women to claim their rights and acquire social status, achieve financial independence, or improve their political representation. And we shouldn't forget today's girls are tomorrow's women. And let us create today an effective possibility for them to contribute tomorrow to cultural, economic, social and political life of our societies. Thank you very much for your attention. Council of Europe, the Parliamentary Assembly here, as a Turkish politician, I can say that probably Ms. Coşkun will also answer this question, but I can say that there has been a tremendous progress in Turkey regarding the education of the children, the girls and even mothers, and the education of the disabled and other vulnerable members of the society, Turkish society. So can we say that it's still perfect? No. So it means that Turkey should continue working on this and should intensify its efforts. But I see the political will. Prime Minister has the political will. His wife, Mrs. Erdogan, was here actually on Tuesday, and she addressed, and President of the country and Mrs. Gül, his wife Mrs. Gül, also involved and dedicated. And we invited Mrs. Gül actually to address this Parliamentary Assembly when we were debating a report on the education of the disabled children. Therefore, there has been a good progress, but Turkey should continue spending more efforts on this issue. Thank you.
The gender issue has also been high on the agenda during the Macedonian chairmanship, and they've organized a seminar on gender budgeting, which is also a precondition for developing gender-sensitive policies, including in the education and in combating stereotypes in education.
Institution of the Council of Europe, and we have a committee on the equal opportunities between women and men, and they have been doing a great job and adopting reports with these resolutions or recommendations to the Committee of Ministers. And we have related conventions. As the Parliamentary Assembly, we do our best to encourage our member states to sign and or ratify those conventions and implement them or revise their laws accordingly. Therefore, we have the monitoring mechanism, and we assist the member states actually to amend their related laws through Venice Commission or through the Parliamentary Assembly.
Interact with you, and the very fact that you participate in this meeting, despite all your important business in this city, which to us manifestates how important the gender equality business is for the Parliamentary Assembly, which just underlined. As you may know, and we had a discussion on that recently, the Council of Europe is in the process of reforming itself.
And now we are really working hard on this reform process. Not only the reform of the all institution, but the reform of the European Court of Human Rights, as well as the reform of the local and regional Congress, and reform of our Parliamentary Assembly. So there have been some results, but we are expecting some more concrete results of this process in within this year, and in 2012. As I try to answer one of the questions on Wednesday, we just revised our rules actually to strengthen gender equality between women and men within the Parliamentary Assembly. And we challenge the credentials of 3 countries during the January past session: Serbia, Montenegro, and San Marino, just because they didn't include a woman in their delegation. Not in the substitute, but in the delegation. So we are trying to strengthen this, and it is going to be on the agenda of the Parliamentary Assembly, as well as the whole Council of Europe, including the Committee of Ministers.
She is the Director General, and
Teşekkür ederim Sayın Büyükelçim. Sayın Avrupa Konseyi Parlamenterler Meclisi Başkanı da Türkiye'nin Avrupa Konseyi dönem başkanlığı çerçevesinde işbirliğiyle düzenlenen bu etkinlikte sizlerle birlikte olmaktan duyduğum memnuniyeti belirterek sözlerime başladım. Neler yaptığımızı sizlerle paylaşmak istiyorum. Değerli katılımcılar, toplumsallaşma sürecinin en önemli aşamaları ortadan kaldırılması, eğitim alanının herkesin eşit şekilde ulaşabileceği ve eşit şekilde yararlanabileceği verilmiş ve 8. sınıflar ilk kez okullarda bu kavramla karşılaşmışlardır. Değerli katılımcılar, ders kitapları eğitimciler tarafından izlenmesi gereken eğitim programlarının hem tamamlayıcısı hem de uygulamalarda sınıf içi çalışmalara gerçekleştirilmektedir.
Thank you very much.